Hello, my name is Alicia Shapiro with AInews.com, and welcome to another episode of our Driving Tomorrow Conversations with Industry Leaders, where we explore the latest developments and newest innovations in the world of artificial intelligence. Today, I'm excited to be speaking with Ryan Chesler, organizer of the San Diego Machine Learning Meetup and a Kaggle two-time Grandmaster. As a self-taught data scientist, Ryan has been a driving force in building a thriving AI and machine learning community here in San Diego, helping practitioners, students, and enthusiasts connect, learn, and grow in the field. San Diego Machine Learning Meetup offers a range of events, from lightning talks and book clubs to networking and hands-on project time, to fostering collaboration and knowledge sharing across all experience levels. As AI continues to shape industries, groups like this will play a crucial role in positioning San Diego as a major AI hub. In today's interview, we'll explore Ryan's leadership in the Meetup group, how the group supports AI education and collaboration, and what it'll take for San Diego to establish itself as a leader in AI innovation. Ryan will also share insights on the future of the Meetup group and offer advice for those looking to break into the world of data science and machine learning. So thank you for joining us today, Ryan.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely. I'm glad to have you here. Like I said, you've been leading the San Diego Machine Learning Meetup for a while now. What inspired you to take on this role, and what's the bigger vision for the group?
So I actually took on the group a little bit by accident. So when I was first learning, I went to a meetup group. I was just trying to, I taught myself some data science and I wanted to meet other people and say, am I any good? I've been applying to jobs, I can't get anywhere. And so I started going to this group. I'm learning from everyone there, and the guy had the meetup group set to just auto reschedule every week.
Mm.
And after a certain point, he just quit showing up. But it's still going, it's just auto scheduling every week. And so I kept showing up, and then I just inherited the group because the original organizer wasn't there and I kept showing up. And then eventually his auto schedule ran out, and it was like, I still want to do this. So I had to start my own at that point. So it
Mhm.
wasn't by design, it wasn't like I set out to make my own group, it was just inherited.
Serendipitous.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And the group brings together a mix of machine learning practitioners and students and enthusiasts, like I said before. How does the group help both beginners and experienced professionals grow in their AI and ML knowledge?
That's a very tricky piece because obviously someone who's very experienced has different interests than someone who's just dipping their toe into the field and they just want to
Right.
know what's going on. So we have different events that are catered towards different people. So we go through books, and those might be more beginner friendly for people because they can just follow along with the book, and the book probably assumes they have beginner knowledge, but not the whole background, so it will help guide them through. And then
Mhm.
we might have more experienced, more advanced talks where we talk about academic papers that someone new might not be able to necessarily dig into and understand without a lot of extra background information.
Yeah, that makes sense. And what kind of events have been the most impactful? And maybe what can new members expect when they join?
I think that for a while we were doing Kaggle competitions, so that was a major thing for a while. So we get everyone together, we say, here's this project. It's a competition. We just want to make the most accurate model possible. That was our bread and butter for a while, but after a certain point, we started going more into book clubs and paper readings. But right now, the thing that I'm really excited about is we've been doing case studies. And
Yes.
so in my work, I get to interact with a lot of customers and a lot of different problems. And then Ted, my co-organizer, he also has a wealth of experience. He's seen many problems too. And so what we do in those is we lay out a problem and then we focus in on a specific part of it. And then we just say, group, go discuss, figure
Yeah.
this out, think about all the different avenues of it. And I think that right now is my favorite, most impactful thing because
Mhm.
you can't really get that most other places.
Right.
Everyone can read a book on their own and that they can go do that by themselves. But actually interacting with the group and learning from each other and saying, oh, I didn't think of it in that way, and someone exposes some new idea to you, I
Mm.
think that's the most impactful thing we have going right now.
Yeah. I know I checked out the group a couple weeks ago and was there on one of the case study days. And you guys did a really good job about balancing those who were online and then those who were in person. That was phenomenal juggling. That was great. But it really was fascinating to see the different perspectives that everybody, when you broke off into a couple little groups, it was really fascinating to see everybody's perspectives and opinions and what they could bring to the table. And I could tell how that would be so impactful because a lot of people, I'm coming from a business standpoint, the businesses, they don't know how to implement AI or what they need to do or whatever. But then you have organizations like this where you can come together and collaborate, and it strengthens it and it just brings fresh new ideas. I love the structure that you have.
Yeah, yeah, I'm glad we've started doing that.
Yeah. And along those lines, AI and machine learning can sometimes seem like solitary fields. A lot of time is spent coding or researching on your own. How does being a part of a community like the San Diego Machine Learning Meetup enhance the collaboration and innovation?
I think that for me, I've been organizing this group for many years now, and I think one of the biggest drivers of people's success, I can see someone go to an event and have a decent time, but the biggest indicator of if they're going to come back and make a habit out of learning and spending time doing this is if they just talk to someone else at the meetup and they made a little bit of a friend. They found a familiar face. That's like the biggest indicator of success. Sometimes Ted and I will go back and forth and we'll go, oh, that person was really cool. We hope they show up again. And the strongest indicator of if they show up again or not is just did they talk to the people around them? Did they make a connection? And that's valuable for them to build a habit of learning and going to something consistently, but also it's valuable in terms of connections. If they make a friend and they're working at some company and then they want to get a new job at some point, then that's very valuable to know all of the people in the San Diego community and be able to allocate people to the correct teams as they want to move around.
And I would think that when you're there, even though you may not be an extrovert and you may not enjoy networking per se, it really is helpful and it gets you outside of your comfort zone and just, I don't know, it just opens you up to new ideas. I love that you could also learn how to kind of network by coming out to those meetings. Mhm.
It's very important. You can be an extremely brilliant person, but you still need to be able to communicate your ideas to other people. And that's one of the things that's been good for me with this meetup group is week after week I read a paper and then I go present on it and I have to synthesize it and say, did I actually understand this? Can I communicate this to someone else?
Yeah.
And we have people volunteer all the time and say, I read this paper, I want to present on it. And
Oh, that's
they find that when they go through that process of I need to organize my thoughts, I need to convey this to someone else, it really flexes a certain muscle that most people don't use that much.
yeah, that's true. One of our goals at AI News is to help establish San Diego as a major AI hub, and meetups like yours are playing a crucial role by building that strong machine learning community. But what do you think it'll take for San Diego to become a recognized leader in AI, and how can groups like yours contribute to that vision?
I think our group is grassroots. It's build
Mhm.
everyone's skills up, and it's not necessarily as focused on get people to start businesses or find investment or anything like that. But you need enough skilled people in the community to be able to collaborate, to build cool projects. And so we put ourselves down all the way at the fundamentals. And there's many groups in San Diego that have that same goal, but I think that's something that will just have to come with time.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. And once you make those connections, it just gets stronger and bigger. And as everybody knows, the AI field is quickly evolving. Where do you see the machine learning meetup group headed in the next couple of years? Are there any initiatives or goals that you're excited about?
We've just started those case studies. I hope that can build to something even bigger. Right now, this is our beta test of how we should run that. So I ran the first one a couple months ago, and that was just to see, do people like this? Is this something that people are interested in? And so now we're trying to grow that further and say, can we get the best case studies possible? Can we get something in front of people that really stretches their thinking, that makes them kind of key in on a certain aspect of the problem? Can we actually build those problem solving skills in people? Because I think one of the biggest struggles is people trying to find jobs. They go and they learn algorithms, that they go and they learn a specific domain or something like that. But the big enduring capability is if you can just problem solve generically. And so that's what those case studies are trying to do. And that's what we hope will get bigger and bigger over time as we can help people build that. In general, it's not very difficult to keep things running because there's always so much AI advancement going on. So if we wanted to, we could just say every week we're going to present on a paper,
Mhm.
and we'd have stuff until the end of time. But yeah, we're trying to branch out into case studies and other interactive areas.
I like that. And it's more interactive too, instead of just going to hear a lecture or whatever.
Yeah,
Much
yeah,
more interesting.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I mentioned before you're a self-taught data science and a Kaggle Grandmaster, two-time Kaggle Grandmaster, which is incredibly impressive. That's huge. What kind of advice would you give to someone who wants to get started in AI or machine learning but isn't sure where to begin?
I think that the biggest thing is to just start and just do stuff. There's no incorrect path as long as you keep going and keep correcting. Along my journey, I had plenty of things that I studied and never used, or I tried something and it didn't work. But along that process, you're getting better intuition of how all of these things come together and you're building your pool of skills. So a lot of people have asked me, oh, do I work on computer vision or do I work on some specific kind of problem or where should I go?
Mhm.
And I think that's the wrong question to ask because you ultimately just have to start somewhere and just build from there. I can't prescribe any direct sequence of classes or anything. I think the
Mhm.
best way is find what you're interested in and then pursue that.
Oh, I love that advice. And because things are changing so quickly, you could say, "Oh, I'm going to do computer vision." And then I know it's going to be available down the road, but like maybe in a year or two, something else comes out. Now,
Yeah, yeah,
now what? So
yeah,
that makes sense about doing what you enjoy and trying to fit it in that way. Because again, if you enjoy the work, it's not really that much work. So
yeah, yeah.
that's
At my company, we have a lot of people who are very skilled in diverse areas. So we had some people who were very good at tabular data, and some people who were very good at computer vision, and some people that were good at language processing. And now all of these things have merged, and everyone has just gotten better and better at large language models and all of those things. And everyone who is good at those other domains have been able to transfer a lot of their skills to this new thing. It's taken them a month or two to adjust to the new setting, but ultimately all of the stuff that they built up also transfers. So you don't really have to worry too much about focusing on one specific topic.
hmm I like that. That's great. And you know what? I realized we didn't even mention anything about when the group meets or where. Do you want to give a little shout out to your group and let people know where to
Yeah.
find you?
Yeah, so we are the San Diego Machine Learning Group, and we meet Saturday noon every week, basically. Sometimes we have weeks off, but most weeks we have something planned. You can find all of our events on our Meetup page, so we can share the link for that, and that's where we post all of our events.
Great. Yeah. Be sure to come out too if you're local because it is really helpful. I couldn't participate because I didn't know anything about machine learning too much, but just being in those little breakout groups and hearing different people's ideas, it really got me excited and I wanted to work in AI more. So it's definitely a good time and you'll learn a lot for sure. Before we wrap up, I'd like to ask a little lighter question so our audience can get to know you a little better. When you do step away from your work, what are some activities or hobbies that you're passionate about?
For me, one of my major hobbies was the Kaggle competitions for a while. So I'm probably not the best person to ask that question. I would go dip in and I would just go do more work for fun. But
Mhm.
on the side, I run a lot and I play soccer. I've played soccer since I was a little kid, so I still play in adult leagues and I have teams going. So I spend a lot of my time doing that.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Ryan, for joining us and sharing your insights on how meetups like the machine learning meetup group is fostering collaboration and education and innovation. It's really been a fascinating conversation. Is there anything else you'd like to leave with people?
I think I really just encourage people to just give it a try. It's not too late to learn and to jump in and see if you like it.
Yeah, yeah. And a lot of times you just have to do it yourself just to see what it's like. So I like that.
Yeah.
And I'll definitely put the machine learning meetup link in our descriptions and posts when we send this out. But if you definitely want to learn more about it, be sure to click the link in the description. Keeping you connected to tomorrow. Today, this is Alicia with AInews.com.